It does say it's recording though.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Pam.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Kind of a lot has happened since I last saw you.
Yeah, I know last time we were talking about you kind of having that big conversation with him if he didn't go to the party with you.
Mhm.
We also talked about kind of writing down your feelings and like his reactions. Um, by any chance, did you get a opportunity to do that? Like keeping a journal?
Um, yeah, I've been kind of trying to like keep a journal to get my thoughts together. Um, but honestly, like so much has happened. So Roy and I went to our
Mhm.
work party, and it ended up being like a river cruise kind of
Okay.
deal. Um, and we actually ended up hanging out with Jim and um his girlfriend, or I don't know if they're like dating or whatever, but they were there and we ended up hanging out with them most of the time, which was nice. Um, and then Roy actually like kind of like announced to everyone that we were gonna set a date for a wedding, and he
Mhm.
just like picked a date, and yeah.
Okay, so you picked the date for the wedding. What is the date?
It's June 13th.
June 13th. Okay, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Hmm.
How did you feel about that?
I mean, honestly, I was so excited um that he just like wanted to, like finally do that and like commit to that. And we kind of started like some of the planning stuff for that. Um but then there was actually another work party that we went to. Um and I kind of thought like with how the last party went, like everything would be fine and he would still like hang out with me. And I wouldn't have to like have a conversation with him about it beforehand.
Mhm.
But he just like was like kind of got really drunk and was like hanging out with his friends the whole time. Um, and then he left early, which I was really annoyed about because I mean, I've talked about it before and like that's been a problem. Um, and I was like upset, and like Jim was there and he knew that I was upset, and we were kind of talking about it, and then just like out of nowhere he like told me he was like in love with me and
Wow.
kissed me, and then he left. And like I told him, like I was like, Jim, like I'm engaged, I'm engaged, like I'm marrying Roy.
Mhm.
um yeah, and now Jim has like transferred to another branch.
What?
Yeah, so kind of like a lot has happened.
Um, That I can't imagine how that feels. That must feel very like overwhelming because like Jim is your one of your best friends and then Roy is your fiance. I guess my question is, do you have any feelings towards Jim?
um I mean, I mean, my initial reaction to him was obviously like this is inappropriate, like I'm in a relationship, but the more I thought about And the more I, like, kinda thought about what we talked about, and I even, like, talked to my mom about it too, like, he he is more of, like, the person that I would, like, want in a relationship, and, he even though, like, Roy has, like, been my person in the past, like, Jim treats me with more respect and, like, listens to me more than Roy does. Um, so after kind of all of that, I actually broke off the engagement with Roy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Just because I didn't like, everything that's going on, that has been going on, and then that I just was like, I just don't feel comfortable if I'm having these like conflicted feelings, like it's not fair to Roy.
Mhm.
Um,
It's also not fair to you because he hasn't been supportive towards you, and all he's been doing for the past 6 months is drinking and kind of, like, ignoring your relationship. So, like, I just
yeah.
want you to realize that too.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of hard for me like once I like thought about it more after I broke it off, like I don't know, it just made me feel bad that like the thing that made me break it off was like feelings that I
From
was having, that I like felt that I was hurting him, and I wasn't like that whole time I hadn't been like prioritizing myself when he was like hurting me. And Roy doesn't even know about like anything that happened with Jim.
Mhm.
Um, just because I was honestly like afraid to tell him that I didn't know what he would do.
Mm.
Yeah.
So can you just explain that a little bit of what you said about Roy, that you felt that you cared more about his feelings, or can you just kind of explain that?
Yeah, I guess like, before like when he was like hurting me, I didn't want to break up with him because I kind of like thought we could work it out and like I would be able to handle whatever was going on with him. And I guess when I like was having like conflicted feelings and like not like made a mistake, but like um yeah, when I was like feeling conflicted, I was like concerned about it not being fair to Roy, and like that was like how I
Mhm.
made the choice to like break it off instead of it being when like I was hurting. I don't know.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Um, do you feel like you've pushed like your feelings, kind of pushed your feelings to the side to focus on how Roy is feeling?
Yeah, for sure. Um yeah, and I think I was just like wanting so badly for him to be the person that he was in the past, and
Mhm.
I thought I could fix it. Um like fix it for both of us, and I like he just wasn't putting the effort in, like like
Mhm.
I can't fix that by myself, like
You can't, yeah.
yeah, and I just like wasn't realizing that before.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's amazing how composed you are in the middle of going through all of this. I think you're really strong. Um, have you, by any chance, talked to Jim?
Um, I haven't. Um, I was thinking, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to like give it some time.
Yeah.
I guess.
Kind of to like process your emotions.
Yeah, like, I wanted to give myself time to process, but I also wanted to give, like, him time as well,
Yeah.
because I know, like, it wouldn't be fair of me to, like, have my initial reaction be, like, saying, like, "No, I'm with someone else," and then all of a sudden, when he's gone, like, tell him, like, that I broke it off, and, that just wouldn't be fair to him.
Yeah.
Um, I was able to get into an art show, though.
That's a good
So,
step.
yeah, um, it kind of happened, like, right after our session last week, so, like, before all of this craziness happened, but I was thinking it's, like, in a couple of weeks, but I was thinking that maybe I would invite him to that,
Yeah.
to see if he would, I don't know, wanna be a part of that, or, like, at least so I could just, like, see him. I
I
don't
think
know.
that would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
You should invite him, and who knows what could arise from the conversations you guys have. I mean, I know you have like a solid friendship. You have a solid friendship. So I don't think it'll
Mhm.
be hard to talk again, you know?
Yeah, and it wouldn't even have to be, like, we wouldn't even have to, like, I'm not expecting to, like, have a conversation with him then, I mean, if he wants to, we can, but it would just be nice to see him, and I've also, like, invited everyone from the office as well, and I know, like, everyone else, like, misses him, so it would just be nice for, like, everyone to be together, like, outside of work, and I think, honestly, like, I think a lot of people, like, because, like, I'm just a receptionist, like, maybe don't take me very seriously,
Mhm.
um, and I don't know, I just kinda wanna show them, like, what other things I'm, like, capable of,
Yeah.
um, and I'm just, like, proud of it, and a lot of the, like, paintings I've done are, like, of, like, stuff around the office and, like, of the office as well, so I just want them to, like, be a part of it.
I think that's a wonderful idea to invite your coworkers for them to see that side of you that they don't get to see so often, you know?
Yeah.
Um, to share that with you. And I know, like, in the first session, we were having troubles kind of like establishing your place and like figuring out what you wanted to do. And like coming from before to now, like, I see a big difference in you. And I just think you're more like focused on yourself.
Mhm. Yeah, I think, like, taking a step back from Roy has, like, definitely allowed me to do that. Um, yeah.
I always noticed like you were concerned about him a lot, and you were more worried about him than you at times, and you
Mhm.
know, prioritized his feelings versus yours. So I think it's great that you're finally coming to realize that like your feelings matter, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So you have the art show coming up. Um, what else is new?
Um, I mean, that's pretty much everything right now. Um, yeah, just kinda trying to, like, take time for myself
Mm-hmm.
and, like, yeah, kinda get my life back together.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is you'll have a lot of time to focus on yourself more. Do you know what you can do to, incorporate in your everyday life so you can, like, I don't know, do more self-care things.
I think that journaling has been helpful for me. Um, I've been trying, I mean, I don't do it every day, but, like, I've been trying to do it, like, before bed just
Hmm.
to, like, get all my thoughts down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I've also been, like, because we were living in an apartment together, but he moved in with his brother, so I have the apartment to myself now, and I've kind of been trying to, decorate it how I want to, which has been nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you were interested in like graphic design and like, decorating
Mhm.
things in your like house. So, yeah, I think that's amazing. Regarding like your journaling, what kinds of things are you writing down?
Um, I've kind of been trying to just do it more of a diary, and I just, like, talk about what happened in the day, um, and maybe, like, sometimes, like, how I was feeling during the day too. Um, yeah, I don't use any, prompts or anything, I just kind of, like, talk about my day, and,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's, like, for me to look back on later too, like, just to remember, this time in my life. So, yeah.
Okay, so journaling. Have you tried anything else other than journaling, or I don't know, like I guess going to the gym or getting your hair done or doing your own nails, like things like that.
I've been thinking about, going to a gym. I've done, I've tried to do some, stuff, just videos that I found, yoga or, stuff like that. Um, but I don't know, I think it would be good for me to, actually, go to the gym. It's kind of, intimidating sometimes, though.
Why is that?
I think just because, I don't know how to, use all the equipment and, not that I have to, use it, I can just, go, walk on the treadmill or something. Um, but I think sometimes the type of people that are at a gym are, intimidating to me too. Um, and I just, worry that people are, judging me.
Yeah. I get those worries too at a gym, but I kind of ignore that because everyone's like focused on like their own machine.
Mm,
Like once you get to like, I don't know, on a treadmill, you're only gonna be focused on yourself. And the same
yeah,
thing with the person next to you.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about it like that.
And remember, like, you're gonna make progress at the gym too.
Mhm.
And like you're gonna know what you're doing in like probably like a month or the longer you stay at the gym, you're gonna gain more experience and you're gonna feel more confident too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would be a good thing for me to, try, because I know it'll help with, relieving stress too.
Hmm. What kind of stresses are you talking about?
I guess just, just, normal, work stress, but
Hmm.
also, this situation with Jim, I just don't know, if he'll talk to me or, how he'll react, and then, I don't know, sometimes it's stressful, Roy does still like work downstairs, so we do still work in the same building, and like I see him from time to time. It's just like uncomfortable sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is uncomfortable to see your ex in a public space.
Yeah. And
Um,
like everyone in the office now, I mean, they don't know about Jim, like,
yeah.
but they know like that we were engaged for so long and we're not anymore. So it's just like it's awkward, like being in a space when everyone knows that. And like my boss is not the most like sensitive person in the world. So like sometimes he just like makes a bigger deal out of things than they like need to be.
Does he
It's
make it awkward in the
Yeah,
office?
it's just like awkward. Like it's not like he's not like rude or anything. It's just like awkward. Like I'm like, stop talking, please.
Do you still confront him? Like when he's like,
Yeah, and like I'll tell him, like I'm like, Michael, like stop talking. But I mean he's like just his own person, so I'd rather have like those awkward situations than like be in a bad relationship. So
mm-hmm. No, that's very true.
yeah.
So with the gem situation, you said you were like afraid of how he's gonna react and like once you talk to him.
Yeah, I'm not even sure like if he like I said, like that's why I've been giving him space. Like I'm not sure even if he wants to talk about it. He might be like just moving on. Um, and like that makes me sad, but there's like nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, I definitely think the inviting him to your art show is a great start. That's all
Yeah.
I can really do right now, and just take things like one step at a time as they come. Because if you start thinking about like other things, like oh, how is he gonna like perceive me? Is he gonna get mad at me? Like then you're gonna like stress yourself out, you know?
And I definitely like I had more worries like with stuff with Roy, like how he would react. Like I had more worries about that than I do with Jim. Like even if he is upset or like mad about something, I know he'll still like be respectful of me. So like even if I do like like am like sad by the like upset by the outcome of it, like I'm not gonna be like hurt to the point where I like won't be able to get over it.
Mm-hmm. No, that's very true. So if you guys were to talk, in the near future, would you ever consider like explaining your feelings to him?
Yeah, I think I would say like that like the way he like told me kind of like caught me off guard. And it was like at a time when I like maybe wasn't ready to hear it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like that it changed a lot of things for me. And I realized that like I deserve better and like I know that Jim is able to like give that to me.
Okay.
Um, but I would tell him to like I think it would be hard for me to say because like I don't want to like ruin our friendship by saying that.
Well, I was in a similar situation. I think just opening up to him, I mean, you're already close with him, and explaining everything when the time comes is the best you can do. And like
Mhm.
you can't control like his response, but
Mhm.
you can only control like what you have to say. So I think that's very important as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, when you said that he's able to give you more, can you kind of explain that for me?
I mean, he's just shown that like he cares about me
Mhm.
and he I mean, he listens to me and like I've said like he's always like on my team um with like art stuff or like anything like that.
So he's like
Um
supportive.
yeah, he's like really supportive of me. Um but he also like talks to me about his life too and like shares about himself, which is important to me as well. And we just like we have fun together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know that he's been an important friend in your life
Mhm.
out of like all of this. And yeah, um, I hear you say that like he's able to give you more, but do you look at him in like a romantic way?
Yeah, I think I do, and I think I think um like I've maybe had those feelings um for like a little bit now, but I just like wanted things to work with Roy.
Mhm.
Um so I kind of thought it was because like Roy like it was a reaction to like Roy not like giving me attention or like stuff like that. And I thought if I could like fix Roy's behavior,
Mhm.
then like I wouldn't feel that way anymore.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, how do you feel right now after everything we talked about?
Um, I feel better. Like I feel it feels good to like just like say everything that's happened out loud.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like I'm like more equipped to like talk to Jim if the like if it comes up or yeah.
That's awesome. Another area like I want to explore more is aside from like the gym is other things that like you find value in because I know that like you and Roy aren't together anymore, and
Mhm.
it might be a very scary time for you, an overwhelming time, and I think that like finding more of those self-care habits is going to be important. I just want to ask you some questions before like what do you I'm just wondering, what are the things that you value the most?
Um, I think right now, like in my life, I value my art.
Art.
Um, and I value like having like a space to myself
Mhm.
in my apartment. And I value I value like work and like the friends that I have at work.
Mhm.
Um,
That's
yeah,
great.
I think that I don't know, it's kind of weird because like I mean I've been dating Roy since high school.
Mhm.
So like it's hard to be like it's hard for me to say, like, I'm trying to, like, find the person I was before him because, like, I was, like, literally a child.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
like, I'm trying to find, like, I don't know, I'm just still trying to, like, find myself in all of this, I think.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, like you said, you were with Roy for a very long time and you've been
Yeah.
investing all this time in Roy, and now you finally get to invest time in yourself.
Mhm.
Do you think you could invest more time, like either in your art or like with your friends?
Yeah, I think, like, I'm kind of hoping, like, after this art show, I guess I'm not really expecting anyone to, like, buy any of my pieces, but I am, like, hoping to at least get my name out there, like, so I can maybe do another show, like, be in another show or do, like, commissions.
Mhm.
And that's kinda why I invited people from the office as well, so, like, they would know, like, they could, like, see my work if they ever wanted, like, a commission. I know
Yeah.
that's sometimes, like, good for, like, gifts, um, too, so, yeah.
That's a those are amazing things that you have, that you're planning to do. Looking back on your life so far, what have been some of the biggest like things that have like satisfied you in life too and dissatisfied you?
Um, I think, like, I don't know, I mean, definitely, like, my relationship with Roy, like, at the beginning was, like, it was, like, satisfying and it was good for both of us, I think, and we, like, grew up together. Um, but I mean, towards the end, obviously, like, it wasn't helping either of us.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think my art has, like, consistently, like, been something I enjoy and, like, made me happy.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it just seems like a lot of the dissatisfaction has come from your relationship with Roy, you know?
Mhm.
When you were with Roy, you didn't really have enough time to look into your art. And now that you aren't with Roy, you're starting to feel more satisfaction in things and
Mhm.
invest more time in yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. Um, let me and I just want to ask you one question about your job. What gives you the most satisfaction in your job as a receptionist?
Um, I think I just, like, generally like helping people, um, and I like routine as well, like, I like to know, like have a schedule and, like, know what I'm doing every day,
Mhm.
um, and then I like where I work, and I like the relationships I have there as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, you've seemed to make that clear over the last 4 sessions that you really value your relationships in the office,
Yeah.
and a lot of your friends work at in the office with you too.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I want you to keep writing down, um, in your journal, like, how your day is going and, like, how you're starting to feel,
Mhm.
I think it's a good idea to start looking possibly into gyms, and doing things every day to like
Mhm.
kind of just focus on yourself, you know?
Yeah, I
Do you,
agree.
yeah, do you think you're gonna look into a gym possibly?
Yeah, I think I might just, like, get, like, a Y membership or something like that.
Yeah. I know we only have one more session together after this one, which is sad. But I think we've made a lot of good progress in the
Mhm.
last four sessions, and like to look where you were then to now, it's amazing. Yeah. So I was gonna summarize what we talked about.
Mhm.
Mainly talks about how become your art show coming up and your relationship with both Roy and also Jem, and that you were possibly gonna invite him to like the art show and all of your coworkers, and just kind of investing more time in yourself and your in everyday life, you know.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's all we really talked about today, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.